Dealing with disappointment. That's our next lesson. And, believe it or not, people are going to disappoint you, and your spouse is no exception. And I know that I'm the biggest bearer of disappointment. And I'm going to let Shelley tell a not so great story about me.
Well, there's a few.
Well, yeah, of course there is.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you the one that. Oh man, this one was bad. This one I was so mad at you. I was so disappointed and hurt. I really didn't. This is one of those moments where I thought, I don't know if I'm going to marry this guy. Like, I was so upset with him. So years ago, I got invited to this awesome culinary event up in Stillwater, Oklahoma. My girlfriend got Corey and I tickets, okay? And they weren't cheap. And back then, we didn't make a lot of money. So these are like $100 tickets. Anyway, he says, hey, I'm going to go golfing with some buddies this afternoon, and I'll be ready to go to the event. I said, we got to leave here around 4 because we got to be there. It was an hour drive. We got to be there, about 5:30, 6 to get settled in. He's like, yeah, babe, no problem. I got this. And long story short, this dude got drunk on the golf course with his buddies. I come back to find him passed out on the couch and not ready to go. And I'm like, Corey, we got to go. Like, we need to leave now. You said you're right. What's going on? Oh, my God. In his drunkard state. I'm tired. I'm not going. I'm like, you're going. And this is, how, all right, ladies, you just want to pick your man up by the, by the shoulders. Like, let's go. You want to throw him in the car. I couldn't. This guy's a big guy. I couldn't pick him up and throw him in the car. I was so mad. I
can remember this much of this, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, you're going.
I'm like, you're going.
And I'm like, no, I can't go because I drank too much. And
you did.
You
did. And looking back, you probably shouldn't have gone. I get
form.
It. But at the moment, I'm like, you're going.
Damn it, you're coming. You're coming with me.
Yeah, I was pretty upset. I was heated. So he was saying, no, I'm not going. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be late. I was livid. I was, what they call it when you get an Asian that's crazy Asian? It's called crazian. I went crazian at that time. I was so freaking mad. I was so hurt. I was disappointed. I'm like, I'm breaking up with this guy. I'm done. Like, he told me he was coming, and he's drunk. He went out with his friends. I was up to here. Anyway, I left. I left mad.
I disappointed you.
Yeah, I was hurt. I was more than disappointed. I was like I said, I was crazian.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on my way to Stillwater, Oklahoma, and I'm driving. And you know what else happened? And that, when I'm feeling all upset and disappointed and I'm speeding because he already put me behind schedule. So now I'm running late. So now I'm speeding.
Of course they did.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I'm speeding and I get pulled over by a cop. Right, True story. Yeah, and the cop was not, he was not empathetic at all. He's just like, here's your ticket. Sorry, your day sucks, but bye. And I'll just never forget, man. It was awful because I was so mad and so hurt and disappointed. And I had to go to that event by myself. Well, my girlfriend was there, but there was an empty seat. So it was like a constant reminder. Every time I look over and they bring a plate of food, I'm like, oh yeah, he's not here. So, all right, I'll get off my box.
You're stewing, right? So
I'm like, you're bringing me back to that point. I'm getting mad at you.
Yeah, I know.
Now.
You're already getting mad. I know. I can feel it right now.
I'm mad at you again.
Here's the thing, right? So women, we all know, most women are crazy, okay?
He says that lovingly.
At least they're like, at a scale of 1 to 10, all women are at least a 3 crazy, okay? But this moment, I screwed it up.
You did screw
it up. And I knew. If there was nothing I could do at that point, because I already knew I was drunk, I knew I wasn't going to go to the event. And, dude, I couldn't help, all the stuff. But I disappointed her, right?
You
and,
did.
I realized there's times where she's disappointed me, and it's going to happen. And in those moments where you want to rage,
yes,
you can't do it.
I wanted to throw out so many obscenities to you.
She did.
I wanted to punch him in the jugular. You get so mad.
Yeah.
So
what we've learned is, now this is something we actually learned from way back when we first took, when we were going to get married, we had to go do lessons and a course at our church.
Right.
And this one particular called the speaker listener technique. And it's been one of the greatest things that we've adopted in our marriage and how we communicate through those tough times.
Right.
Because at that moment where I disappointed you, you want to tell me to go
Oh, man.
and how to get there and when, like the whole thing. You're
Right.
livid.
I'm so mad at you.
And sometimes in these happen all the time in different elements, in different spots. And sometimes, now, rule number one, sometimes you have to be able to say time out.
Right.
Because you could be in a public setting and somebody does something and it is not the time or place to go off,
No.
right?
So what you're really talking about is learning how to fight fair. Okay, so the speaker listening technique is so crucial in having a healthy relationship. So let's show them how that works.
Well, I thought I was. So,
all right, here we go.
So step one is if you're in a spot where it's not the right place to go out and go get crazy,
Yeah.
right?
You don't want to air your laundry in public.
You've got to learn how to say time out, right? In other words, listen, I don't want to show my butt. You don't want to show your butt in front of a bunch of people that know and like
Let's
us.
call
and
it air
whatever,
out your dirty laundry.
right?
Okay.
And so you've got to be able to like look at each other and know. And so how do you do this? You got to have these communications before you have like conflict, okay? And you have to decide, and you got to make a commitment that this is how we're going to handle these types of events.
Right.
When it's not time to show your dirty laundry, you kind of got to look at each other and be like, yo,
Time out.
yeah, time out. Let's table this. Honey, let's table this.
Right.
Right? Are you looking at me, Corey? I'm so mad, we're going to table this. Right?
Do I do it just like that?
It feels like that. Right?
I have a certain look. I think us ladies have a
It's kind of
certain
like, I'm
look.
going to cut you, but we're going to table it because I'm going to cut you later. Right? I get it. And honestly, you probably just need a little cooling off period. And sometimes
Yeah.
just the cooling, by doing that one little thing and letting yourself cool off for a minute.
Right.
And at that moment, it's not like I'm going to be right in their face saying, oh, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Right?
Right.
Because you don't want to egg the person on. You got to realize that that might be the moment where you do need to give some space. Right? And you're not even trying to solve the problem. Right? So let's
Right.
talk about the speaker. So that's how you diffuse the conflict, right? When
Right.
it's not in a good spot.
Right.
Now, when you're ready to now talk about the next part, like the speaker listener technique, is you want to describe it or you want me to go?
Go for it.
All
babe.
right. So
You're doing
you've
great.
got to tell the person, like, hey, I need you to hear me.
Right.
That's usually the key word. The key start of this is, honey, I need you to hear me. Right?
Right.
And I'll be like, listen, when you did this, this, and this,
Right.
here's how I felt.
Now, here's what I'm not going to do. Well, Corey, well, you made me feel this, this, and this, and this. I'm going to stop and pause and say, babe, and I'm going to clarify and say, okay, so from what you're telling me, this is how I made you feel. I made you feel this angry, upset, and you're mad, right?
Yes.
So I want to make sure I'm validating his feelings first. And I think oftentimes we revert to it's all about me. It's not about listening to
Or
how they're
attacking,
feeling.
right?
just
Or
go
thinking
back-
of your
go back into the-
response.
yes.
Your rebuttal, right?
Right.
See, this is when I say, hey, I need you to listen or I need you to hear me for a minute. That's my cue to her is I need you to put in your speaker listening technique yours.
But you don't point at me.
No. But I might look in your and say, honey.
Yes, I know. You're like,
That was my
was this your Jedi mind trick?
I was
you're
trying to
putting
pull a
on me?
Jedi mind trick on you, okay? So I was using the Force, but it wasn't working.
Okay,
okay?
gotcha. I gotcha.
So I told her, when I tell her these things, she's going to paraphrase back
Right.
to me what I said.
That's
And
simple, right?
if she doesn't
Simple.
paraphrase it right, I can say, well, no, here's what I'm trying to say. We're going to get it till
Right.
she can paraphrase it back to me. Now,
And that I completely understand where you're coming from.
and we're not even
Right.
trying to solve the problem either.
No.
Right? We're not in problem solving mode. Now, after I've said all that stuff, guess whose turn it is?
My turn.
And you're going to say,
I'm going to say I'm going to paraphrase and say,
no, you're not going to paraphrase. You're going to tell me how you feel.
oh yeah, okay, I already well, yeah.
Yes. You're going to tell me how you feel. It's been a while since we haven't had much
we don't-
conflict in a while.
we don't fight.
Okay?
Well.
Just saying. But I've got a sharp mind, even though I barely met out of high school. I was really good at copying. She's going to come back and tell
I
me
will tell him how I
she
felt.
feels. And then
so-
I'm going to paraphrase it back to her
Right.
until I get it right. And this may take a while for you fellas, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to say the wrong things, and you're going to keep saying it, but when you get it right, she's going to smile because you were finally listening.
Right.
Right? And that's one of the biggest problems in relationships is we forget to listen and hear each other out. Because if I truly love this person, wouldn't I want to spend some time listening and learning? And do you think I want to hurt her feelings on purpose?
Right.
I don't. Right? And I think most spouses, they don't. They don't like being in conflict.
Right.
Okay? Now, once we have all that out, right? All the way we feel, now we can actually take some steps to solving the problem. Now, it may not be appropriate to try to solve it all in that one setting. Okay? You still may need some cooling off period. Could be a day. Now, it's not, and we don't like to go to bed like frustrated with
Don't
each
ever
other.
go to bed angry. That's not good.
So I don't like may put it off a day, but you might have to put it up some time. And so, in other words, I need you to think about what we said.
Right.
You know,
Let it
and what
marinate.
you heard. Let it marinate.
That's right.
And then you can come back, and then you got to come back from a point of love, right, and caring, and say, and really, someone's got to take the lead on this. And sometimes, even, I'll say this. This sounds weird.
Okay.
Even if you felt like you were totally right.
Justified.
Justified. I was justified. What is the real solution that I'm looking for? I want to get back into that great feeling with my spouse. I want to get back to us being in line and on track.
Right.
And sometimes you're going to learn that you got to pick your battles. And even though you may feel justified, it's better just to say, I'm sorry, with no buts.
Gosh, don't you hate when someone says, I'm sorry, but it's like, you're not even really sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry's without buts. Very important.
It is not only, I mean, like put a exclamation point. No
Very
buts.
important. No buts. I'm
Because
sorry.
and here's how it looks and sounds like. Honey, I am so sorry. I honestly didn't mean to let you down. I'm sorry for doing this. And, you know, I'm an idiot. I didn't mean to do that.
I think
Can you forgive me?
Yes, I can forgive you. And I remember coming back from Stillwater, Oklahoma, and I was so mad at him. And by that time, he had his senses together, and he's like, oh, no, she is upset with me. He felt horrible. And I remember, you know, good thing it was an hour drive because I had some time to cool off. And he came to me, and he's like, you know what? I understand you were disappointed, you were hurt, and it was never my intentions, and it's my fault, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And all was forgiven. It was really that simple.
And then we got back on track. And so
back on track.
A lot of times though, but you got to come if you're going to apologize. And sometimes you really do. It comes if you get to that higher level where you're like, listen, what I really want, it's not about being right or wrong. What I'm trying to do is just solve the problem. And this works not just with relationships, but with people in general.
Yeah.
There's
Life.
so many times with people
Right.
that if you would just say, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Yep.
And if you do that right, and you do it from a place of love and humility, what's the response?
Easy. Forgiveness. I mean, the walls come down. How could you not?
Right? Works
that
with
person
cops
again.
too. Works with cops. Okay? Man, I am such an idiot. I didn't mean to. I mean, I'm like, I can't
mean
believe
to
I
run
was
that red
speeding.
light, officer.
I'm so stupid. Gosh, you just beat yourself up. Beat yourself up so bad that the only reaction that he can, if he's a hard guy, if he's a hard guy,
Right.
he's gonna be like, listen, dude, it's
He's
okay,
like, it's
man.
okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
That's fine.
And really, then that's, if you do it right with your spouse, that's the exact same response you get, is it's okay. I love you. And that is how you...
Deal with disappointment.
So the lesson that you need to do today is think of a time that you were really upset with your spouse, right? Write it down, and then work on that speaker listening technique. Go back to that point and talk it out. Let each other hear each other about why, right? And then find the solution. Find forgiveness. That's all we have for this lesson. The next lesson is going to be just as amazing.